We got lots of microphones here. This is great. Well, who all is here from? My name is Mark Warner, by the way, and I'm grateful that everybody's here. Don and I are putting this roundtable together because, obviously, an extraordinarily serious issue. I want to, first of all, where's our friends from Virginia Tech? There you are, Tom. Well, Tom, you're doing more of the drone stuff. But I was thinking, we're at the Virginia Tech Innovation Center, so I want to thank our hosts and for all the great work. And again, I think the last time I was here, no, I gotta get water, but the last time I was here, I think it was still under construction. So I'm anxious to get all of the, at least at this level, all of the views. We're here for a reason that unfortunately I think some of us potentially saw coming, as those of us who've raised concerns for years about overcrowding at DCA. Not saying there was relationship to this particular tragedy, but on January 29th, 67 lives were lost, and I particularly appreciate Mr. Collins being here so that he can reflect on the sense of the families, and I'm sure the personal loss that you all still feel every day. The challenge that we all know is that air traffic in the greater Washington area is extraordinarily crowded. It gets, pardon me?
Can you speak up? It's really
Okay. Okay. Usually that's not my problem. On this one, this is for the media, right?
The microphone's for the media, that one is for...
Oh. Okay. This is, hello, hello? That doesn't sound louder. Hello? All right.
They're the same.
They're the same. Okay. I'm going to speak up louder. Normally I'm not charged with that cause, but welcome everybody again. And if you didn't hear, I wanted to thank Virginia Tech, but I also particularly wanted to thank Mr. Collins, representative of the families, 67 lives cruelly lost on the night of January 29th. I can still very vividly remember I was coming from an event in D.C. Like Don, we both live in Old Town, and I was driving by the airport as we just saw a massive amount of red lights rushing to the airport. And I do want to, again, thank the first responders from that night, because we had a lot of jurisdictions with Maryland, D.C., the feds, local police departments, others. All those divisions disappeared that night. And Don and I you may have got there that night. I came, I think we were both back again like at 7 o'clock the next morning when we realized the extent of the tragedy. What we've got to figure out is, and have the mindset, frankly, of never again. We know this airspace is crowded. There are 13 million, Jack, I think, enplanements every year, DC and Dulles combined, and that doesn't even count what's going on at BWI, and with Tombo and others here. That's even before we think about some of the additional unmanned traffic that is going to be in all of our airspace. So what I want to hear from the experts around the table, and I'm glad that my friend Adam Evan from the state is here, and Kanak and others from the city of Alexandria are here, folks from the city of Alexandria, city of our county of Arlington are here. What can we do? We have put on the Senate side legislation in. There's a bill that I've got with Senator Cantwell that looks at all the component parts. Senator Cruz has got another bill, I think that's frankly good in terms of different alternatives. But we've got to make sure we have the force to bring legislation to bear to become law. Part of this is not related to the legislation, but it does worry me with the kind of level of cuts that are being made by this administration to the federal government and to the workforce, how we're going to get the personnel in terms of FAA, air traffic controllers, and others whose really job is the front line of keeping us safe. And when I get to those comments, I hope you'll speak a little bit about the ability to still recruit talent. On a separate subject, we've spent years building some great new veterans healthcare facilities in Virginia, one in Spotsylvania, one in Chesapeake. They're only a third staffed at this point because how many people want to go work at the VA if you're under the threat of constant firing? So how we do recruitment in terms of air traffic control and FAA is extraordinarily important. But I don't want to go on too long. I've got lots of details on the legislation that we've got involved, and Nicholas from my staff is here with a lot of great details. But with that, why don't I turn it over to my friend Don? But we'll go from me to Don to Adam, and then I'd like everybody else to go around and introduce themselves and give a short presentation on your views here, and then let's get a conversation going. Don?
Senator,
Oh,
thank you very much. Sir.
I should also acknowledge him. He is my congressman, and we do have a bit of a distinction on a slightly lighter note. I think I beat him by about 3 blocks. So many of the men and women we work with, have got to fly in and out of this airport and Dulles every week to go home, and it's one of the reasons why there may be more congressional interference on these airports. Don and I have the distinctions, and I think we actually beat Eleanor Holmes Norton, the D.C. representative. We live closer to the Capitol than all other 535 members of Congress, House, and Senate combined. So.
Exactly. If there's no traffic